society. At the outset, let me thank Azad Foundation and in particular Dr. J.S. Anand for giving me an opportunity to connect with you all. Well, I felt emotionally struck by the theme of this, this literary meet, because a sizable portion of my poetry explores the theme of human decadence. And literature, I believe, yes, I think we have already gone through such brilliant discourses, how literature plays, such a seminal and crucial role in fostering the human values and establishing it. I believe literature, is very instrumental in fostering the conscience of society, and it lends tongue to the collective conscience. Every moment I felt as a writer that literature somewhere fosters reason, and I find goodness to be the twin of the reason. And again, I don't find any dichotomy between reason and emotion. Many a time I think we try to juxtapose emotion against reason, but I believe in order to establish reason in humanity, it takes a very intense emotion. So instead of doing the talking, let my poetry do the talking. I think that will be better because this is the poetry conference. So I will read a couple of poems which explore the theme of human decadence. The first poem is titled, I Spill the Missing Breast Milk. This poem is out of my newest, I think, poetry collection, Rhythm of the Ruins, which was released in Delhi on 1st of October last month. I Spill the Missing Breast Milk explores the theme of poverty, because I believe poverty is the ugliest consequence of human decadence. It is a scar, still the scar of humanity. So on the one hand, this poem portrays poverty at its ugliest, and it ends up with a particular message that how economics and ethics are lying completely divorced from each other. Gandhi talks of economics with ethics, and contrarily, I think it is a tragic irony that the two are lying divorced. So here goes the poem, I Spill the Missing Breast Milk. As I pass by a shanty in Dharavi slum, where I am to buy myself a leather jacket, an unconscious sight strikes me hard, plucking me from the enthusiasm, the excitement of an addition to my variegated wardrobe. A woman suckling her newborn, unmindful of the exposure, her femininity robbed of coyness by the classic arms of poverty. The child frantically sucks the breast that looked distastefully shriveled for the milk that is not there. The color of the milk that I spilled the same morning, the color of the milk that I spilled the same morning, the glass toppled by an unmindful hand engaged in an entertaining mobile, changes to blood red in the mind that is Crab Nebula. Changes to blood red in the mind that is Crab Nebula. Now, it is her blood that couldn't be mutated into milk for her breast. It is her blood that couldn't be mutated into milk for her breast. The hallucination churns me, filling in the horrific pity on my belief in socialism and knowledge of welfare economics. Beautiful. I think this poem, during the discussion of this poem, collection, during the release, I think this was most liked poem out of the collection, so I chose to, and it so well echoed the theme of this literary meet. Second, I think Dr. Anand during his discourse talked of war. War, again, I believe is the most horrific manifestation of human decadence, and recently the world witnessed one of the worst wars in the recent, in human civilization. And this poem has been inspired by this Russia-Ukraine war that is still lingering. This is titled The Manticore. Manticore is a Persian legendary creature that has the head of human, the body of a lion, and the tail of a venomous spine, or scorpion. So here goes the poem, The Manticore. An infant in the throes of helpless tears is perched atop the bosom of the mother. An infant in the throes of helpless tears is perched atop the bosom of mother,
his frantic nudges to wake her up unanswered, his hungry cries amplifying the macabre silence. The life is too young to learn death. The life is too young to learn death. Sleep and death are synonyms. On platter is blood, not milk. Death has just finished his dance, and ominous hiatus maybe. The corpses littered on the sheet of blood, torn or smeared, the bosom of the bombed earth bleeding with a terrible tremor. The toddler's tears are tireless. Their scream sends the silence into a cacophonous crescendo. The tremor mutates into quake as a manticore crawls around, the earth groaning under its lurid limbs. Its eyes snigger a terrible victory. The looks shining thirsty for the blood still on the platter, and the tail wagging in a gory glee to suck out the life that is left gasping. The arrival upon the child. Here, I think it is a very unique poem in the sense it is a poet narrating the entire thing, and now the poet is at the side where that infant is perched atop the bosom of the mother. The arrival upon the child, silenced with shock, the tears trapped in his incarcerated sighs, horror trips the trajectory of the imagination. The horror trips the trajectory of the imagination. So this was a poem on war, and I will conclude. I think I will conclude it with another very short poem because that is very special to very dear to my heart. This poem was written way back in 2003 or 4, as far as I can recall, and it found a place in the International Library of Poetry, United States, and it again explores the theme of poverty. A very short poem, but then I think its metaphor is very dear to me as a poet. I think I must recite this. The poem is titled The Beggar. A beggar, limbless, armless, the fragments barely clad, the begging ball tied to the loose end of one arm, rolls over the pathway along the garment shops, and stomachs out some cacophonous score which is getting drowned into the clatter of his stones raining into his empty ball.
Wow.
Thank you.